Okay, another day, another video. This video is going to be a short one. I'm just going to try and take away some of the mystery out of GraphQL. I think some people believe that GraphQL is complicated or like there's some magic under the covers. It's actually just passing some JSON back and forth. That's really all it is. So we're going to dive into some of the internals of its operation in this video. This service is GraphQL service from my last video about interfaces and unions. And I've just gone ahead and added a get cars query, which returning these cars, and then a mutation to add a new car. So I have this GraphQL playground right here. And if I run this query, you can see that it's really just a JSON call to our GraphQL server. And the payload of this JSON call has three members in it: the operation name, or the alias name of the action, the GraphQL action that you're going to do, and then the query itself with the name of the query and the fields in there. Now, if we had given this an actual name like this, then you would see the operation name populate with that name, and then the query becomes more filled out, where explicitly it says what type it is. In this case, it's a query, and then the name of the alias name of the query, the actual name of the query, and then the fields that are inside of it. So if I rerun this query, you can see that it's just the first car, the second, the third, etc. Now, if I run this query, you can see that my car is in there. I inserted at the top of the list. But you can also see that mutation, the prefix comes on even though we don't have an alias name. And that's because mutation, the prefix is not optional, but for queries, it is optional. But anyway, you have the mutation name itself, the fields that are being put in, and in this case, it doesn't return anything. So again, I'm not sure what is supposed to go in here, but the actual field, the actual parameters for the mutation are going in here. So then, if we look at this application to the right, it's a React application. Here you see that we have absolutely no GraphQL client of any kind whatsoever. We are just going to list out the cars that are in our GraphQL query get cars. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to define the query. So I have the name of the query itself. Actually, you got to remember that you always have to have that object wrapper before you define the query itself. So then you have the query name, and then you have the fields that you're going to be getting back. So we're going to get back these three fields. And then I already defined this state that's going to be a UL list of cars. So we're going to go in here. We're just going to do a standard fetch. Again, it's off of the same URL. And then we're going to declare that this is a JSON request. So we're going to do content type application JSON. So the method is, of course, going to be a post. And then the body, we're going to stringify this list of parameters again. So we're going to make this null. So again, this query is not only for queries. It's just saying whatever type of query you're doing. So you can do a mutation in here. You can do a subscription in there. And then the variables is just an empty. So once we get this back, we're going to take this result set and we're going to grab the JSON out of it. So I just got to make this async capable. So then we get the JSON back. So the JSON is going to be, after the JSON is going to be get data and then the cars. And then we're going to take the cars and we're going to return this li list. Set that to the ID. So we'll do the car name. Leave some space. We'll do the passengers count. So then we'll set the cars. Whoops. Just call this list. So here are the vehicles. So we have my car, that was the one that I just added towards the end, and then the passenger counts. And we did this without having to rely on any, Apollo client or GraphQL client. We just did a standard fetch that is of type post and submitted some JSON, and we were able to get back, whatever the query was returning. So that's it. Super quick video. Just wanted to take away some of the mystery around GraphQL. If you have any questions, leave them on my website, dzhaven.com. Otherwise, thanks for watching.